What's going on, sports fans? Welcome to the post-game takeaways. I am your host, JD, here at JD Sports Talk. And the New York Knicks moved to 4-1 in the early season as they go into Chicago on the road on national television. And they get a tough win, 104-103. Now, many may say it's an ugly win, an eventful win, a bad win. A win is a win. And, when you look at the positives for the first 45 minutes, 45. Now, I'm coming off the Knicks Fan TV postgame and I said 42, but actually rewatching the ending, it was actually 45 minutes of 48. You could clearly see that the New York Knicks tonight had the better team. They had the better roster. As to me, they have better perimeter shooting, and the Knicks bench outscored the Bulls bench. We see tonight some of the things that the Bulls still will have to work on. Lonzo Ball seems like every time he plays the Knicks, he doesn't have a good game. And Zach LaVine struggled in the second half. RJ Barrett had an outstanding game here as he had 20 points, 3 rebounds, 8 of 15 shooting, played 33 minutes, and held Zach LaVine to 1 of 9 shooting in the second half. Zach LaVine had 8 points, and he was complaining a lot to the refs, so you could see the frustration building. And that's part of the value that RJ Barrett has brought in the early season. We saw the matchup with Jason Tatum, and now we see it with Zach LaVine. In terms of RJ ramping up the pressure and just frustrating the opponent, what happens when you do that is you take them out of their game mentally, and now they're trying to figure out different ways to score the basketball, leads to an inefficient outing. And although Zach LaVine did have 17 points in the first half, RJ Barrett stepped it up in the second half. And RJ Barrett has proven so far in the early season that he can take on the early challenge, the assignment on the other team's best perimeter player, but he can also be sound, intelligent, and very cerebral in key moments, as his clutch defense has also been very, very important to the New York Knicks. So to me, game ball goes to RJ Barrett. Mitchell Robinson showed again your value. Now, we're going to be nervous about him every game because we saw again tonight, he went down. Thankfully, he was able to come back. Soon as he comes back, first possession, he gets a block, which leads to the RJ attempt for a dunk, which he missed, but Randall got the 2 points. So that was a key point in the game, and also shows Mitchell Robinson's value to this team as he went on with Nikola Vucevic. He had the matchup earlier this week against Joel Embiid. He's going to have to face Jonas Valanciunas next on Saturday here against the New Orleans Pelicans. So this has been a big week for Mitchell Robinson in terms of just showing the New York Knicks fan base, the New York Knicks organization, and the front office that this is a guy that's going to be valuable for the future of this organization. That's going to be a big decision for Leon Rose to make, being that you don't know the health status of Mitchell Robinson, but so far so good there. Kemba Walker is heating up, ladies and gentlemen. Kemba Walker now, his last 2 games, has made 10 3-pointers and has scored a total of 40 points in 2 games. As I mentioned in my last post-game takeaways, Kemba Walker, we have to give time because he is getting acclimated to a new team. Although he is from New York, mentally, all the pressure, the hype, the adrenaline, the environment, Madison Square Garden, the knee, the health. There's a lot of things that just need time to fall into place for him. And I like the way that he was, utilized tonight. I want to see more of it. I think Knicks fans want to see more of it in terms of him being more of a playmaker, player movement. I don't like to see, Kemba standing around. And I like the utilization of Kemba in this game. I hope it continues because this team, when Kemba, so far in the early going, when Kemba has played well, you can see now how difficult it is to guard the New York Knicks. The spacing gets better and the execution gets better. There's nothing to say about Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose continues his solid play. He continues to be the leader, early six man of the year candidate. And, he goes into Chicago, had 12 points, 4 rebounds, and Derrick Rose is being Derrick Rose. And you can make a case that although Kemba had a good night, Derrick Rose should be the legitimate every night closer of this New York Knicks team, because when you look at how this game ended, I mean, can we complain if Derrick Rose is there? Right? We can't. Why? Because Derrick Rose understands how to create a positive play. It's not all about scoring with Derrick Rose. As I mentioned in my last post game takeaways, Derrick Rose just creates positive plays. And even when he doesn't make the shot, it looks like a positive possession. And that's all you're asking for is let's get a good shot. We can live with the results as long as we get the shot that we want, and we get the action that we want. So Derrick Rose, I'm hoping Tom Thibodeau makes that adjustment in terms of making sure that he is part of that closing lineup. He also gives you an upgrade defensively over Kemba if he decides to go that route. This is a big win for the New York Knicks. The New York Knicks now are 4-1. They have 3 quality wins, in my opinion. Sixers, Celtics, Bulls on the road. And when you look around the box scores and you look around the NBA, there's a lot of parity going on. There's a lot of teams losing to teams that you would think early on they weren't supposed to lose to. And here are the Knicks. One bad loss against the Orlando, albeit on a back-to-back situation, but 3 quality wins. And the New York Knicks are not even clicking yet. Like, this is the positive, in my opinion. This Knicks team still, like tonight, Fournier goes 4 for 14 from the field, 2 of 8 from 3. Quickly, 1 for 7, 0 of 4 from 3. Burks had a tough night. What's going on? Burks can't inbound the pass now? Like, you got to get it together, Alec Burks. But he had a couple of big threes. And let's get to Julius Randle. Julius Randle had 13 points, 16 rebounds, 9 assists. He almost had a triple-double, which goes to show you, as I keep saying, how he can have a tough night and he still manages to contribute statistically. But we need to figure out a delicate balance here between getting Julius Randle the ball in the proper spots on the basketball court. We also have to realize that we have other ball handlers and playmakers now. Derrick Rose, Kemba Walker. We can use Fournier in some action. There's different ways to get the same type of shot. And it doesn't always have to go through Randle from the top of the three-point line like a point guard. There was a sequence where 3 straight possessions, he off the double team, passed it to Kemba for the 3, passed it to Fournier for the corner 3, passed it to Fournier again for another 3. 3 straight possessions off the double team, right? And that came on the low block. So let's look at creative ways, Tom Thibodeau, let's look at, where we can be more effective on nights that Julius Randle, it doesn't have it from the field goal percentage. He was 3 of 11 tonight, 0 of 2 from 3. Now I understand there's going to be nights that Julius Randle is going to be hot and you let him, you play the hot hand, but on nights that you see that the defense makes it tough on him, we have to run the system, we have to run the offense, and we have to utilize other players to be playmakers and create positive plays. So, not sounding the alarm on that. It is early. The Knicks are 4-1, but it is something to watch, as I put a lot of this on Tom Thibodeau as well. A combination between him and Randle, that's a collaborative relationship. They have to work together to make sure that you trust your teammates, you trust the pass, you continue to build chemistry with the shooters. This is an improved roster, right? We see when they're clicking, they're hard to defend. So we have to maximize that as we continue this season and continue to play quality opponents. Great win. Now from the Chicago Bulls, Lonzo Ball was a player that was mentioned, rumored to the Knicks. He hasn't played well against the Knicks, and this was a good matchup. I honestly believe the Knicks are a better team, and I think the Bulls are a good matchup for the Knicks. Kemba doesn't get challenged defensively, right? Because Lonzo Ball is not an attacker of the rim. So now Kemba doesn't feel that pressure, and we can allow him to, play the game effectively. The center position. The Bulls don't have a backup center, and their starting center, Vucevic, is a weak defender. We saw Kemba attack the basket. He got some assists to Mitchell Robinson. If not, you saw the type of shots that he was able to get. Derrick Rose, when he came in, immediately attacked the paint. The Bulls have a big weakness in terms of rim protection. And then at the point guard position, our point guards, which is another early weakness defensively do not get challenged by the Bulls personnel. This is why I think the New York Knicks are a better team than Chicago. Two key areas of the basketball court, advantage New York Knicks. Great win. And now we move forward. Quality win. Knicks have a lot to get better at. They got some players to get going here in terms of quickly Burks, right? And hey, you start to see the Knicks are at the top of the rankings in many offensive categories, and they have not clicked yet. So I am JD. This is JD Sports Talk, and I'll see you around for the next game.